really long hair, so it takes like an hour and a half to do. So I was rushing. Finally made it to the doctor at 2:15. Went to the doctor. 3 o'clock was on the road. The traffic was horrible back downtown where I was meeting my boyfriend to go to an art show. And I got there late, and they were all ready to go. And he wasn't rushing me. He was trying to help me get ready, but I was rushing. I mean, I was constantly rushing. Even though I was told that I had to be ready by 5, everyone else was already ready. So I was still rushing, even though I was early. I had gotten there at like 4:20, but I was still rushing. And so I constantly feel as though I am rushing to get somewhere, even if I don't really have to rush. I mean, even if I'm just meeting a friend and it's an arbitrary time, like 5:30, if I'm late, I feel anxious.
So what do you do with that anxious feeling? What are you currently doing to cope with that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I really do. I mean, one outlet is when I drive, I will get very angry.
Okay, so outward expression?
Yes. Outside of that specific situation, aggression doesn't really come through. Like, I don't tend to get in bad moods and take it out on people. That typically, I'm a pretty patient person when it comes to other people, and I know what it feels like for someone to like be moody and take it out on you. So I'm very careful about that. But sometimes I'll cry if it's just a stressful day, and that typically relieves some of the anxious feelings. Like I get almost like I get it out and cleansed. But actually, I think more what happens is I just live. If you think about a normal person, like anxiety here, it's more just like up here for me. And it's not impacting or impairing my daily functioning. I think it's just very stressful. Like, I notice that I grind my teeth a lot. Okay. I have trouble sleeping sometimes because I think as I'm going to bed, I have to do this, this, and this. This is due in school. I have to, now during the holiday season, Christmas shop. I mean, I feel like I have a constant thought process almost in my head.
So it's like you have a couple outlets, and one taking it out on other drivers perhaps, or just expressing your anger and your frustration immediately, or in tears.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, you kind of just build it in and hold it inside of yourself. Are you looking to learn different techniques or some strategies that you could perhaps use as an outlet to express that anxiety?
Yes, I would love to learn some way to, maybe as I'm starting to feel these, anxious symptoms. I mean, I know I get sometimes an increased heart rate or sort of sweat. Mm-hmm. And I would like for me to be able to do something so that I can bring it back down. So that when I'm starting to feel rushed, even when it's not necessary. I mean, I understand that if you're rushed, you're rushed. If I'm running late, I'm running late. I have to rush. But if I'm supposed to meet a friend at her apartment at 5:30 and I can't make it, a simple phone call, would be enough. Right. But I feel it's almost like once I break that rigid schedule I've set out for myself, I immediately feel the anxiousness.
Right. How do you feel right now talking about it?
I feel better. I feel like I'm getting some of it out because I don't really talk about it with many people. I mean, my boyfriend knows that I wouldn't say I'm a worrier either is the thing, but he knows that I tend to get on a rigid schedule, and I'm like, well, what is the plan when I'm leaving? Well, I have to tell so-and-so where we're going to be. And, he's like, hey, why don't we just, calm down and...
So you kind of take charge of the situation?
Right. And so that is what helps, at least telling you a little bit about it. I talk about it with one of my friends, and I talk about it with him, and, he understands. He's like, well, you just need to calm down. Well, he can tell me to calm down, but that's not going to help,
Right.
So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, kind of maybe dealing with the anxiety, is I have a very bad fear of flying, and I have panic attacks on planes. So that aspect, has really prohibited me from kind of traveling.
Okay.
I find myself, like my mom asked me to come meet her in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and I would have loved to. I have Thursdays and Fridays off school. I would have loved to fly out after I'm done working on Thursday and just stay for 3 days, but I didn't because I didn't want to get on an airplane. So I think that fear is definitely prohibiting me from doing things that
Right.
I'd want to do. And I don't know if that maybe ties into more this general.
We can definitely explore that, and we use a technique usually for phobias of where we gradually put you in different situations where you feel tension and nervousness and work on relaxation techniques.
Okay.
But those are a lot of issues that we want to look at. First, your anxiety and how you deal with your stress, as well as the guilt of when you're not doing something you think that you should do, and maybe being able to handle doing nothing if that's what you enjoy doing, and definitely your anxiety and fear towards flying.
Okay.
For this session, what do you prefer to focus on?
Focusing on just the general kind of anxious feelings would be good.
Okay.
Because I think maybe that's more of a pertinent issue. I don't have any plans to fly anytime soon.
Right.
So if we could maybe focus on that first, or
Okay.
for right now,
And
it would be
perhaps
good.
as we practice some different relaxation techniques, those we'll be able to use in other situations and get you nearer to
Okay.
flying.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay. So for today, I really appreciate you telling me the stress and anxiety that you're going through. So let's talk about some ways that you want to work on dealing with that anxiety or tension. What
Okay.
are some things that you could practice this next week?
Well,